before I get started. Hi, so I'm live in a few different places all at once. I'm just going to try and share this actually whilst I'm on. So just wanted to answer a couple of questions that have been asked to me about the membership, and then I've got another little metaphor for you, one that I was reminded of the other day by one of my members. Hi, and so I'm going to, let's have a look. Is it going to let me? Is it going to let me? So yeah, I'm going to share a little metaphor with you. Say hi so I can see who's there. And apologies on Insta if I'm looking away. I'm also live on Facebook. Let's have a look. How are we all? How are we doing? How are we getting on? I can hear Maya saying, hey guys. Hi. Let's have a look. Just on live, darling.
Okay, amazing.
Right, hang on, you'll be able to hear me now as well. So let's just try and share this when I can, and then I'll turn it on.
Just on live, darling.
Amazing. Right, hang on, you'll be able to hear me now as well. So let's just try and share this. Oh, that's annoying, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. There we are, back on. Fab. Right, that should be it now.
On the camera, I didn't know that.
So, just a couple of things. So, a few of you have asked me a few questions about the membership club. The email that I sent out is quite a lot of information in there. To be honest with you, it's in part because there's kind of lots to say, and I just wanted to try and say it all. But effectively, at the moment, I'm launching. I've already got a membership club, of which some of you who are on here are already in, which is specifically around anxiety, which has been going for nearly 2 years, I think it is now. And this week, I've also launched the founding members for the new membership club, which is for maybe that's people that suffer with anxiety, overwhelm. It's really for people a bit like myself. When I managed to get past the crippling anxiety, I then still found that I was kind of sabotaging myself. I was running my own business, but my world was really small because I didn't really feel that capable. I'd always get to a certain point of success and then I'd kind of stop. I'd kind of stop because I don't think deep down I really believed I would be that successful. I felt like I just had to plod along and just cope and manage. And so that's what the new membership is and how it's slightly different to some of the others. And because it's a founding member launch until Saturday, it's at a reduced price for those who join up. And also the first 20 people get a half an hour session for me, which would cost £30 anyway. So I wanted to share that. If anyone's got any questions, pop them in and let me know. So the other thing is I just wanted to share a little metaphor with you. Let's have a look. It's not showing me everything up here. Let's have a look. I've just got one angry face tonight from somebody. Raymond's angry with me. Sorry to rub you up the wrong way, Raymond, but feel free to scroll on. So effectively, so one of the things I wanted to share, apart from answer those couple of questions about the membership club, the other thing somebody's asked me is, how long do you have to stay committed to the membership club for? Well, you can stay and go as you please. So you get the founding member launch price, which you'll keep for as long as you're in there, but you can leave at any time. You don't have to give any notice. You can just cancel at any time. So yeah, entirely up to you. Some people will come and do their thing and go, and then others, I've had some people in my other membership with me for good 18 months or so. Just don't want to leave. Okay, so the metaphor that I wanted to share with you this evening is around we all have worries. It's part of being human. So I want you to imagine it like you've got a worry bucket or a worry bag or something that you're carrying around with you that is full of worries. If you think about a bucket, it's a bit easier for me to explain. So you've got a bucket full of worries. And what people often want to do is, it's like they're carrying this bucket of worry around and they're like, oh, this is heavy and this is terrible and I hate carrying this around. So they feel like they've got to dive into the top of this bucket and figure out the worries and so that they can take them out of the bucket one at a time, figure them out and get rid of them. But the thing is about a worry bucket is it is part of being human, and therefore it's like it's got a never-ending supply of water. and there's a hole in the bottom. So the worries go in and they're replaced by other worries on top of other worries, and then the other ones spill out the bottom, and it's like this continuous cycle of worry. And the reason I'm telling you this is because when you feel like you're carrying around this bucket of worries, it's knowing that we're all carrying them and they're all seeping out the bottom and we're continuously filling it back up. But we don't need to go in pulling all of these worries out and trying to figure them out, because they're eventually going to drain out the bottom anyway, and we're just going to refill them. We are consistently going to refill the worry bucket. And so that kind of sounds a bit like, well, that's great. What do we do with that then? Well, that's a bit frustrating. Well, actually, the more you accept that you're going to probably find stuff to worry about if you look hard enough, and that's going to keep changing, that's going to keep adjusting, the more accepting you can be to the fact that you're carrying this bucket of worries around with you, and that you're not alone in that, and that we all do it. And a lot of, again, the stuff I do in my membership, whether it's around anxiety or, if you work with other people and you want to run your own business, or you want to change career or anything like that in the other membership, then, most of it is really about learning to accept. And learning to accept what it is to be a human being, and realizing that we are actually all work the same way, and that interfering with every single thought that we had and trying to figure it all out is exhausting, and it doesn't get us anywhere. In fact, it stops us in our tracks, which is why I've just written a post, actually, just a brief, Sandra, I love you book. Oh, thank you. You've read that quick. Sounds exactly how I've been for a few months. Yeah, because we all do it. And again, the reason behind, and I'll be talking a lot about this membership up until Saturday when the doors close for the launch, but the reason I set it up and didn't just stick with the anxiety one is because when I got past my anxiety and my relationship with anxiety changed, I realized I'd always thought, well, once I get rid of anxiety, life will be perfect. I used to think that I just had to get rid of it, and it was like this big epiphany would happen and I'd suddenly feel amazing. And actually then when it stopped, when I wasn't getting anxiety, it's so overwhelming anymore, I was a bit like, oh, I still feel shitty sometimes, or I'm not suddenly feeling wonderful about everything. And that's because the anxiety was only one small part of actually me getting in my own way. And so I've realized that exploring these principles that I now work with so many other people with not only helped me change my relationship with anxiety, but started to have such a huge knock-on effect in every single part of my life, because everything comes from the inside out. And so the more we understand ourselves, accept ourselves, and learn how to just ride this wave of life that we have, and enjoy it and experience it differently through, a different perspective, then everything gets easier. And I'm not exaggerating when I say my relationship improved, my parenting improved. I've never enjoyed my business as much. Like, if I'm really honest, I started to work for myself initially, partly because I was anxious, because I didn't feel that I was capable and able enough to be somewhere else, apart from under my own authority, I suppose, because it was like, it took some of the pressure off. Like, what if I get anxious? What if I can't continue in the job for long enough? What if I don't progress because I'm anxious? All of these things that I believed were what actually drove me, thinking about it now, looking back, into working for myself. And even though I was driven enough to work for myself and build up my business and things like that, there was still always this niggling feeling that I would never be as good as that person, or I'd never be as successful as that because I didn't have it in me. And then I realized over time that that's just not true. And it's not true for anybody. Like, we've all got the ability and the capacity to go in any direction that we want and to achieve anything that we want. I get a lot of people even saying that they'd love to do what I do in my job, and they almost say it like almost a little bit sheepishly or a little bit embarrassed that they would even consider that they would be good enough to do this. When actually, yeah, you are. Of course, someone's saying here, ditto, feel like this all the time at work. Yeah, and it's only really us, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to control our environment. We're trying to control everything outside of us, but at the same time, we really want things and we desire things and we want to go in a certain path, but we get in our own way and we stop ourselves. So that's what it's really all about. And I just wanted to share that little metaphor with you. And if anyone does have any questions at all, before it closes on Saturday, please let me know. Give me a shout. No such thing as a silly question or any concerns. If you are thinking you want to join a membership and you're not sure which one, if you should be in the anxiety one or the other more general one, just drop me a message. Tell me where you're up to, what your situation is, and I can let you know what would be most suitable for you. But either way, it's all about getting out your own way. Stop sabotaging yourself. Stop telling yourself that you can't. Stop getting to a certain point and then taking a step back. Like, we want to push through and push past that, because on the other side of that feels much better. So I'm going to leave that there, and I will pop on again in the next, well, possibly tomorrow. I'll just see. I'll see what comes up or what shows up, and I will catch up with you all soon. And as I said, please drop me a message if you've got any questions whatsoever about the membership. Bye Facebook, bye Insta.